Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of our weekly coaching webinar. James has already given me a good morning, Ty. Good morning, James. Actually, it's good. It's afternoon here now. It's like 3 o'clock on the East Coast time. So you must be on West Coast time. So thanks everybody very much for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about sales funnels. We're going to talk about starting a sales funnel. So it's interesting. I've spent the last few sessions talking somewhat about things that are similar to this topic, and I'll tell you why. Because I have a couple friends of mine that I do one-on-one coaching with, and what's interesting is that the addition or adding a funnel, a sales funnel to their already existing model easily stands to double or triple their actual business. And so I think a lot of people have this exact same thing. They're trying to build the business through just blunt force. And one of my buddies, for example, has a phenomenal product and service he sells, and his entire model is about getting consultations scheduled and then trying to sell a $5,000 package as a one call close with no funnel to come behind him and help him close. And so if you look at something like that and the complexity of that, you talk about stress every day you're coming in trying to make a living, and you're giving yourself and your sales team and you so much pressure trying to do everything that needs to be done to convert somebody to a close in one phone call. And by that I mean trying to build trust, trying to build credibility, try to build rapport, try to talk about the problem and explain why you're the solution, and explain the solution, explain why you're the best person for that solution, explain how they're supposed to get the return on investment. To do all of these things in one phone call is absurdly difficult to do. It's just ridiculously difficult to do. And if you fail, you fail. If you don't have a funnel, you're done. You got your one shot. You get off that call, and by the end of the day, the person you're talking to probably forgets 80% of what you said, because the past number was that we see 4,000 advertisements per day. With digital now in the new age, I think it could be 6 or 8,000 advertisements that we see a day. So we see so many advertisements now that people forget what you're saying and doing during a presentation. It's just the way that it is. If you want to be top of mind, you have to have constant reminders to be top of mind. And that's just some of the reasons that sales funnels are so effective, because when you have a sales funnel, you basically can create a series of emails like I've shown you in the last few or in one of the last few webinars that I've done, where you have kind of a series of emails like this that triggers every couple days apart. And then what happens is people continue to get information from you on a regular basis. Now what happens is, leading up to the sale, we talk about, you build credibility, you build trust, you build rapport, you talk about the problem, you talk about the solution, you position yourself to be the ultimate solution to the problem. You make yourself the obvious choice in the customer's mind. And what this does for a typical business is very simple. It goes from you trying to convince customers why they should work with you to your customers asking you to work with you. I mean, it's that simple. Like, do you want to sit there and try to convince people why they should do business with you, or would you rather people come to you already wanting to do business with you, that just need a couple like answers, questions answered before they do business with you? It's just a smarter path. And when you hear my history about building a sales funnel, mine came from being in the credit repair industry, where I would talk to people and then I would have this huge uphill battle on every call, because they didn't think credit repair worked. They didn't know us. They didn't trust us. They didn't even trust the service itself of repairing credit. And I just got upset one day and said, I'll show you. And I created a series of emails that one by one explained all these points, and then threw every person I talked to in this funnel to explain it to them. And then it worked so well that I thought, well, heck, why don't I run this funnel before they even get to me? Like, why don't I teach them all the stuff before they get to me to make that call easier? And my whole life changed in that moment. Because the minute I discovered that 95% of what happens in a sales presentation can happen before the sales presentation ever takes place, it changed my life. Because now I don't need to tee up leads for myself for where I have to do all the heavy lifting on the call. Now I can come in and I can actually tee that up in advance. Okay. And I can make sure that I have it all laid out, where I teach them, hey, this is who we are, and here's why you should trust us. And here's the problem that you have, and here's solutions to the problem, and all these type of things. So before they even get in the sales call, they already are pretty much ready to buy. If you think about why you choose to do business with a company, let's just walk through this. When I do business with a company, first of all, I want to do business with a company that's legit. By legit, I mean that they're actually going to deliver on their promises. I mean, when I think about who I'm going to choose to do business, I really want to make sure, look, is this company going to deliver me what they say they could deliver me? The other thing I want to know is, does the product or service that they're offering really going to produce results? Is it really going to give me what I'm expecting to get? There's a million other things of why I do business with people. I like their story. They make me feel good. But for the most part, excuse my language, I'm just trying to avoid getting screwed over, really. And I think that when most of us buy products and services, that's what we're looking for. More times than not, we deal with unscrupulous people that don't do what they say they're going to do. More times than not, we buy products and services that don't actually work like they're supposed to actually work, right? And so the issue with that is that then we're skeptical about everything else that may work well for us. So how do we overcome it? We overcome it with sales funnels. Sales funnels do all that. Because sales funnels, we do things like I've shown you a few weeks ago in our indoctrination sequence. We start bringing somebody in through what I'm going to show you today. And today's all going to be about these kind of lead magnets that we're going to use. It's going to come about landing pages like this. It's going to talk about the kind of forms that should be on your landing page and what people should see when they opt in, and the process to getting them basically into the funnel. But when we look at what a funnel does something like this email. It provides value to that person, asking them for absolutely nothing in return. Nothing in return. So an example of this and why this works is we have a new Tire Kingdom in our neighborhood, right around across the street. And I got a nail in my tire because they were doing road work, and I took it to them and they patched my car, and I went to get it fixed and pick it up. And I said, hey, how much do I owe you? And the guy said, before I even asked him that question, he said, hey, you're going to need 2 rear tires. Your front tires look good, but in a shorter period of time, you're going to need 2 rear ones. I said, okay. And then I said, well, how much do I owe you? And he said, nothing. It's on the house. Well, he did something very, very smart, because I could tell you what, 100% chance I'm going back to them to get those tires. There is no other option. I came to him and he recognized I had no other reliable source, or I would have went to them, obviously. But being that I went to him, and it was the first time I walked in the door, he recognized that, hey, this is a new customer. He doesn't have a home of people to service his vehicle when it comes to tire work. So he did a grand gesture. He gave me value, asking for absolutely nothing in return. And I walked away so appreciative of that I feel compelled to give him my business. Why would I go get tires from somebody else when he's the guy that told me I needed them? Why would I go get tires from somebody else when he's the guy that fixed my tire and now knows my car? I'm going to be more inclined to use him because he did a grand gesture. That's what sales funnels do. If you do them right, you're getting a lot of value and giving it to somebody, asking for nothing in return. And what's more going to happen more cases than not is when it comes time for them to buy, they're going to give you the first shot to lose the business. Is this new Tire Kingdom going to get my business? I could walk in the next time and have a complete a-hole that takes care of me, that I walk out the door because the guy's a jerk. But it would be their business to lose. They've already gained it by doing a grand gesture for me, by giving me value and asking for nothing in return. Now they could lose my business by messing up, but it's going to be pretty tough because, again, they did a grand gesture. That's what email funnels do. You're providing value. You're teaching people. You're helping people understand something they don't know, something they want to learn more about. And in doing so, you're becoming a credible expert. You're becoming somebody they like, somebody they know, somebody they trust. And then in doing so, if you look at why we choose companies, you knock most of those pins down, right? Now, they feel like they can trust you. They understand what your product and service does, and they feel like it can help them. If you put case studies in your funnels, et cetera, et cetera. And so now when they get into a sales call, it's your sale to lose, not one you have to really gain. It's a pretty easy sale for the most part. So you could sell absolutely anything this way, whether it be, one of my buddies that, that I coach that does, $99 a month credit repair, or whether it's another one of my buddies that I coach that does $5,000 a sale for one individual appointment funnel that helps you build appointments. Whether it be either or, it doesn't matter. A funnel helps you do both because it tells the person most of what you need to know to getting into the sale. Okay. And then after the sale is made, it then delivers them a lot of value as well, where then they are getting value and they're understanding, and you're building more trust, credibility, rapport, telling them about your company, et cetera, et cetera. And then what else that helps do is it helps you then make the sale after the sale is done. So for example, if you get into our indoctrination sequence, you see emails like this one, this Dun & Bradstreet setup, where we help you get set up with Dun & Bradstreet. We offer you 1-minute video tips as well, that'll teach you certain things like how to get financing and how certain kind of financing work. But the minute you talk to our sales team, this funnel stops. And what starts in its place is a funnel that tells you all about us. It gives you case studies. It gives you real results. It lets you see how our credibility is, our A+ BBB rating, and everything else that we have that proves we're credible. It comes in and shows you videos of exactly the kind of results you can expect to get. It shows you what it's like to actually work for us, what the experience is like after you enroll to become a customer. It talks about your problem and talks about our specific solution to your problem, meaning we provide value, 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 value. Then we solicit for consultation. Then we get you into consultation. We provide value in the consultation. And then what we do after is we start talking to you all about the reasons that you should work with us. We don't even talk about us until we earn the right to talk about us. And we earn the right to talk about us by giving you all of this kind of value in advance. By giving you value in advance, we earn the right to then ask you if you want to speak with us one-on-one. And if you say, yes, I do, then we get you into a consultation. We provide a ton more value. We wow you so you walk away and go, wow, I didn't know that stuff. Now I know it. Then we start talking about us and why you should work for us. We change the conversation. Instead of just giving you a bunch of value, now we're coming in and we're still giving you some value, but we're also giving you value and telling you about us and how we can help you and what your problem is and how your problem's affected you. So you know that we relate to you and your problem and that we found a solution and why our solution works and why other solutions don't work as well. Then you come out and you say, okay, now I know, like, and trust this company. They've given me a lot of things and asked for nothing in return. And now I have all the reasons on why I should buy from them. That's how it all works. But how does it start? It starts right here. It starts with what's called a landing page. And the reality is, once you build a funnel, and this is what, I like to tell anybody that I say about building a funnel. At Credit Suite, we really have one goal on our marketing side. It's a very simple goal. Get people into our funnel. It's all we care about. We don't care. We just care about how many different ways we can get people into our funnel, whether it be somebody that we run a Facebook ad to or a YouTube ad or a LinkedIn ad, digital marketing, whether it be we go to an event, we give you something for free just because you give us your name and email address, whether it be a YouTube video that I just did where I've got 600 people that watched it and I'm giving them a way to get in, to get our free guide, to get our free information, to learn more. Every single thing we do has one purpose and one purpose only: get them into our funnel, because we have confidence that our funnel will do what it's supposed to do. It will give people value. It will then get them into a consultation. We then rely on our sales process, which I've shared with you and even given you the scripts we use and everything. We then rely on our sales process to actually then give them value and tell them about our product, service, how we can help. Then we rely on our secondary funnel that's all about us and how we can help them and understanding their problem and credibility to then push them over the edge by understanding that we are the best solution for them. And as long as we get them in our funnel, that's all we care about. That's it. We don't care about anything else. So this is what you should be building for your own business, whether it's business credit and financing, where you're an ultimate customer, the funnel that we already built for you, or if you're a VIP customer where we give you the content to do this, or whether it be another business that you own, whether it be credit repair, you're an attorney or a truck driver, it doesn't matter. Well, maybe not a truck driver, but an accountant, an attorney. In most industries, those funnels really become essential. They become the backbone of your company. It's where all of your buyers lie. And I can give you a million other reasons. Now, let me give you another example. Last week, we actually, or 2 weeks ago, we did a sale. We did a promotion. And we do a promotion every couple, and this time every three, if that was 3 months or 4 months since we did the promotion. But the reason that we did the promotion was because we wanted to actually come in and we wanted to make a lot of money in a very short period of time. And we did so. I think that one funnel, I think we brought in $150,000 in sales over, 3 days. So that's the good thing about building funnels, is that when you need people to take action, You can then run an email to them asking them to take action, and you usually get overwhelming action. And I learned that back in the credit repair days. I would sit there and talk about us and how we can help them, provide value. And then every 3 months, I would say, hey, why don't you buy from us? And then they would buy in groves. And then we got better at asking them to buy. So for example, now we'll ask them to buy as part of a webinar. So we're not soliciting you to buy, but if you're going to watch an hour-long webinar, then we'll solicit you to buy. So the only people that even get our solicitations are people that we just provided an hour's worth of content for and provided value with. But it all starts by building a landing page that gives away what's called a lead magnet. That gets people into your initial funnel, and then you can trigger the emails and so many other things I've talked about thereafter. So what are lead magnets? Let's start there. The landing page is what promotes the lead magnet. And I found this great article here on Opt-in Monster by just Googling lead magnet. And you can see it at optinmonster.com/9-lead-magnets-2. Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, let's just go to Google and type in lead magnets. And the first one I see in position 0 is Opt-in Monster 69 highly effective lead magnets. So Opt-in Monster is a pop-up. Here, I'll show you. If I do an exit right here, well, I don't want to do that. If I do, like, for example, an exit with them, they'll trigger an actual pop-up form, etc. I've already been to their page. They already cookied me, so they already know that. So this is a great article that talks to you about what lead magnets are. Okay, why they work. Okay, what should be in a good lead magnet. Solves a problem, promises you can win, etc. And then it just gives you a lot of different kinds of lead magnets. So there's a lot of different kinds of lead magnets that we'll talk about here. You can use checklists, which a checklist to me is, could be a couple different ways. It could be an actual checklist, something they check off as they get it done, or it could be something like an actual guide that really function as a checklist of how to do something. They can get a cheat sheet on how to do something. They can get a template, an actual written template. So if I'm in digital marketing, to give you email templates you could use would be a value, right? I'm giving you the actual email templates themselves. It could be a swipe file, okay? It could be something, and this is Digital Marketer that I get a lot of my training from. It could be an actual swipe file. So we give our partners a lot of swipe files. These are things that we did that work really well, and now you could just swipe or steal ours and use it, make changes, and make it your own. So that's what a swipe file is. Hey, here's a, hey partner, here's a guide that we use that actually, brings people in for business credit. Now you can use that same swipe file. You can swipe this and use it for yourself as well. So here's examples as lead magnets. Never heard that before. Here's a script that could work well too, right? You're giving them a script on how to do something, So my buddy, as I mentioned, that has a business where what he does is sells a high-end a appointment funnel where somebody schedules appointments to actually get in. Well, that would be great for him. One of the ways that he could use as a lead magnet is an actual script that he uses to book appointments. So for example, if you're in that right industry, a script could work for you. A toolkit works really well. Many things that are together in an actual kit. Now, I have something like this that I've done before called my credit repair kit. And I'm going to try to see if I can show you an example of this. So this credit repair kit is something that I used when I was in the credit repair business. And the credit repair kit was just like this. It was a toolkit. It was of a bunch of tools or resources that you could use to be able to actually fix your own credit. Okay, so that was the credit repair kit. So any kind of tool kit or something to that effect could actually work. And here we go. This is a lot of, let me use this. This is a credit repair kit that I have when I was in the credit repair industry. Is 101 ways to improve your credit ebook, a credit score secrets revealed ebook, a dispute log, okay, a content list that contains all the content of what's in here, dispute instructions, okay, a master guide that teaches you everything about the credit repair process, how you could stop a cease and desist letter to stop collection calls. This is a perfect example of a toolkit. Okay, so this is a bunch of tools that you can use, okay, to be able to get the result you're looking for, credit repair. And you can imagine this is pretty easy to get somebody's email address in exchange for. I mean, if you're trying to fix your credit, and I have 101 dispute letter library with credit bureau disputes and advanced disputes, as you can see here, I have 101 letter dispute letter library. Okay, and I also on top of that have all this other stuff, dispute logs and instructions and a master guide that's like 69 pages or something crazy like that. I think that maps out everything, 62 pages, that maps out everything you need to know to fix credit with this. What is credit repair? How does it work? The credit system, eOscar, OCR, etc. This is an effective kit. So that's a cool toolkit. You can give away a good toolkit. That's a great lead magnet, probably one of the best ones that you're going to find. Okay, you can give away a web app, a resources list, a list of all the resources. So maybe you're going to give away the 10 best books that teach entrepreneurship in 2020, etc. A specific calendar they have here. I've never used a calendar for a lead magnet, or a planner, but not bad ideas there. Worksheets, workbooks. Okay, so an actual guide that actually you could write in, that you could use to track your progress. Okay, something like that. Okay, they have inspiration files, printable, stuff that I haven't really used. Some of this is stuff that I don't even use. Calculators, these are huge. People love calculators right now. So giving away a free calculator that they could use for them, that they could use for their customers, etc. Things like that. Okay, spreadsheets, not something we use a lot. Recipes, not something we use a lot. Okay, here's educational lead magnet ideas. Now, these are more our style, you and I. Okay, so gated content where they have to be able to access by entering their information. So for example, gated content is Wall Street Journal. You can't open Wall Street Journal articles online unless you pay them a monthly subscription. That's gated content. They gate it. You have to do something to get that content. So gated content, as we can see here, is to get access to the information they have to enter, what their login, email, phone number, etc. to opt in. A tutorial on how to do something. Maybe instead of giving away a video on YouTube for how to build business credit, you're actually going to create a tutorial to how to build business credit, and they're going to have to enter their information to access that tutorial. This is the most common type of guide that or of lead magnet that there is, which really has to do with a checklist, or which has to do with an ebook or a guide. So ebooks, guides, all these type of things are basically exactly the same. There's just different words for exactly the same kind of content. And there's a lot of these types of free reports and guides. So here's an example of just some of our free reports and guides. So you can see here that we've got all these different types of free reports and guides. So here's a definitive guide to building business credit, for example. So this is examples of guides, right? These can come in here and you can actually get a guide that teaches you everything that you need to know about that actual specific topic. So guides are the most common form of lead magnet there is. And I really like guides because guides can be an accumulation of other kind of content. So for example, we found that a lot of people, now that we've started talking about it, a lot of people have an interest in NAICS codes. They don't know that they could choose their NAICS code. They don't know what their NAICS code is. They don't know what NAICS code they should choose. So now what we do is, that was such a popular webinar that we had the content of the webinar just made into an ebook, and it became an ebook. And now we have an actual ebook that we give away. Okay, that is a NAICS guide, which I don't have done yet. Actually, I just saw that from our content team today. So we use content from emails, from webinars to make guides if the guide is popular. And last week I talked about how to multi-purpose content, and that's one of the things I said, is that a webinar you create could easily be made into a guide if the topic is popular. And that's how we choose which ones of these to actually do as guides, is which one of these are the most popular. So ebooks and guides, which are pretty much the same thing, and they have it listed as two different things, but an ebook and a guide is pretty much the same thing, and it's the most popular of those. A report of some sort, some kind of report that gives you a free report, YouTube traffic report, for example. An infographic, we have this as well. So we actually have an infographic in your back office. I think if you, well, it's available if you enrolled with one payment. We give away an infographics as a, for example. And let me see if I can figure that out. I don't know if I have if I could find the infographic or not, but an infographic is definitely very good as well. So an infographic is where they can come in and kind of see the stages. And this is a great example of how an infographic works. Okay, now our business credit infographic that we have is right here. And this is an example of an infographic that this is black right now. It's a bad example. but it's about hopefully to be a better example. So this is an infographic that kind of uses a visual image to walk you through the steps to building business credit. So that's an infographic. So infographics are very popular. As a matter of fact, infographics are really popular on social media as well. So if you create infographics and then you use them on social and find out what's most popular, and then you only stick with what's popular, that could help you tremendously as well. So that's how we do a lot of it. You know, we do a webinar, we do an infographic on social, we do a blog post, and then whatever's popular is what we do more of. If this was popular on YouTube, or excuse me, if this was popular on Facebook, then what we would do is we would then put this as on a landing page, and we would promote it as something we'd give away in exchange for people's information. An educational video, so we could say, hey, you know, free course. So this is a free course on double your traffic in 30 days. And all you do is enter your email address to access the free video course. Okay, educational audio. So you can come in and get a free audio course on something if they enter their information. Webinars, of course. Okay, so webinars are really big. The webinar we just did, in order to get onto our webinar on how to build business credit in 2020, you have to give us your first name, your email, and your phone number. So webinars are great ways to get people to opt in as well. Event tickets, they can get tickets for your event if they actually provide you their information. An email course. So actually, this is what I did as well. I actually then had so much success with giving away this credit repair kit that I showed you that I then decided to make this into a course. And so it was a 30-day course. So I took a lot of the content here and then I broke it down into emails. And then in different emails, I basically made this into a course. And so I had a credit repair kit that people could get, a toolkit. And they also had a credit repair course where I basically over 30 days taught you how to fix your credit and then gave you all the things that were in the kit over 30 days. So it became an actual course as well. A free book plus shipping. So again, you know, I might have my book on business credit decoded that I'm going to give to somebody for free if they're willing to pay shipping. Now, I'll tell you another variant of this that I don't see they have listed is you could give away the actual ebook, or you could give away the actual physical book in digital format without even dealing with shipping. The giving away a free book if they pay the shipping really is pretty smart, because in order to get the book delivered, they got to give you their address, right? So it makes a lot of sense. The problem with a book, a physical book like my book, Business Credit Decoded, it cost me money. So every time I were going to send this, I would go negative, and that's called a loss leader, where I'm taking a financial loss initially just to get the lead in, because I know that my conversions will be so high that I'll get my money back. So this is really good. If you have it tested and you know that you can give away a book, even if it costs you money, they pay shipping. And if you know your conversions are going to be so high that you'll then make money on it, that's an option. Another option here is to do it in the digital format. So I have the digital format of my book, and I can give you the digital copy of my book if you opt in. So that's an example there as well. A sample chapter of your book. This is great. They can maybe just get a chapter of your book by giving you information. Okay, video clips, audio clips, which is a variant of what we just saw. Free coaching session. Okay, if they come in and they actually give you in exchange for their email. Okay, a PDF version, I think, of that as well. Transcript of something, an audio version of something. Cliff notes, a summary of something. This is a great way. State of the industry. They can get predictions, a mind map. Kind of gives you a mind map. Mind maps explain complex subject in a very digestible way. Okay, recording a replay. So for example, for our webinar that we just did, we're going to put that as an automated webinar that you have to give the information to us, your first name, your email, your phone number, in order to actually get that recording back. An audio book, a slide share. So we do this too. Slide decks are actually really popular. We've done a lot of research with our webinars of what do people want more than anything else. And the one gift that most people want is the slide deck. So we found that people will stay longer at the webinar if they know that staying means that they can get a copy of the slide deck. So a slide share, the slide deck can work really well. A roundup blog post, I'm not too familiar with that. A newsletter, they can opt in to give you access or to give them access to a newsletter. A vault or a library, so you have access to a resources vault as a partner in your back office, and that has all of your ebooks, your guides, your videos, etc. We would never give away something like that for free, but you could have a resources vault. So for example here, I could easily take for my dispute letters in my credit repair kit example, I could take the 101 dispute letter library and I can make that into a vault. Here's a 101 credit dispute letter vault that you can access by just giving away your email. So this one kit could be who knows how many of these kind of lead magnets. A quiz. This is huge for us right now. Quizzes are very, very popular right now. We do quizzes all the time. We use quizzes as a very effective lead magnet. Our best quiz is how fundable is your business? And we give away a free quiz for you to be able to do this. So quizzes are very big and very good quiz or very good lead magnets as well. A survey, a giveaway of some sort, a manifesto, a comic strip, which probably doesn't work as well, quotes, which could work, desktop wallpaper, mobile app or game, challenges could be something that you do, a membership site. In order to get access to the membership site, they have to give you their information. A Facebook group, very big. So in order to get access to the Facebook group, you can put a form that requires access that they have to give you their name, their address, and their phone number, or their name, their email, and their phone number to get access to your Facebook group. Very popular, very effective lead magnet right now, because most people are because groups are blowing up. I mean, groups are blowing up. Facebook loves groups. They're aggressively pushing them. So therefore, if you're using that, and I'll give you an example here. But if you go and you look at giving a group as a vaulted way to be able to get customers, that makes a ton of sense as well. Because again, what happens is that people will give you their information, as we do with our Get Business Credit group. Every person that comes in the group, we're getting their information. We're able to get them into our sales funnel just by them actually coming in and getting access to the actual group. And to give you an idea, and let me try to figure it out. Here's an idea of why this is makes so much sense. This is just our memberships over the last 30 days. So you can see here that just the members in our group went from 26,000 members to nearly 27. So we're picked up almost 1,000 people. I mean, 800 people in the matter of an actual month. Okay. So that being said, you know, what we really want to look at here is, and that's declining 800 people. So again, Facebook is just really taking off groups. And if you have a group and you're asking for login or them to give you information to get into your funnel, for example, then that is a very effective lead magnet as well. A Slack group is another way to be able to do that. This is called bottom of funnel lead magnet idea. So a free trial. So they're giving away a free trial to your product and or service. They're getting a coupon. Okay, case studies. They're giving their information to get case studies, a waiting list, an early bird discount to get free shipping on something, a free consultation. This could be a very good way to get an opt-in, a free quote of some sort, a catalog of some sort. So this is a great article on 69 different kinds of lead magnets, but look, you don't need 69. I mean, the examples I've given you that are some of the best are these. It really comes down to guides and ebooks. Almost all of our lead magnets are guides, ebooks. We do have checklists. We do have blueprints. So we have guides, we have checklists. We do have things like the blueprint. Here's our business credit blueprint that maps out the steps to build business credit. Okay, and you're able to come in here and you're actually able to see the actual blueprint. Here's how this works. Here's the different steps you take, all broken down. And then we break it down, each one of the steps of the blueprint, and explain exactly what's involved. So this is a blueprint that we use that's very effective as well. So most of these guides, ebooks, blueprints, checklists we use. And of course, I showed you a lot of examples with this credit repair kit, the credit repair toolkit. Okay, coming in and using this as a course. Okay, using the dispute letter library as something where they're getting a vault of information. Any of those things can be ebooks. Now, to come up with this took a lot of time. You know, I had to write a 69-page guide, and I had to create a checklist and a dispute log for this, and I had to, you know, find 101 dispute letters online. 100% of these letters were available online for free. I just compiled them. So it took me time. But, you know, I can't tell you how much of a return I got in my credit repair business by creating this credit repair kit. It was huge, because then I made a course out of it. Then you can make a vault out of it, which I didn't, but you could do all kinds of things and get who knows how many. So you're going to put some time, energy, and resources into creating the initial resource itself to give away, but you get the value out of it. And yesterday, if you paid attention or attended yesterday's webinar, I gave you the most valuable advice I will ever give you. I mean, like, I'm not going to say it's some of the most valuable. I'm going to say of everything I've sat here and taught every week almost since 2012, right? For 8 years, I've done this webinar for our partners. And I pretty much am consistent every single week. Some I've had to travel, but let's say I've missed very, very few. Okay, of all the time I've taught and everything I've taught, what I taught last week was the most important of all of it. It's how to take one piece of content and make a lot of different kinds of content from that one piece. And if you're doing that, then you can create a webinar and create these guides, or naturally as part of doing that webinar. It's super simple to do. So when you figure out what your lead magnet is, you don't need 69 like we just went over. You don't need 5 or 10. You don't need a bunch of them like I have here either. You don't need any of this crap. Okay, I can tell you that 95% of all leads that have ever come into our funnel have come from probably 5% of all of our ebooks, guides, and stuff. Meaning that almost all of our traffic that's come into our funnel has come in from less than a handful of actual guides that have done it, including the how to build business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social, which is this guide, which is the most popular. So once you come up with the lead magnet idea, and again, we come up with our ideas by doing webinars, by doing videos, by doing blog posts, by seeing what's most popular. If you're getting into the business credit space, I can already tell you that how to build business credit for your EIN not linked to your social is a hugely popular one. I can tell you we also have one on 27 killer ways to get financing. That one is also hugely popular as well. So those two are very effective guides. Okay, but we have a lot of guides in the back office, any of which can work. If you're creating your own guide for your own industry, then follow my advice that I gave you last week. Start doing webinars, start creating that type of content. And then when you find what's popular, actually take the content, what I showed you last week, and make it into the form of a guide. You have a graphics guy, add some graphics, and you basically take that content directly from your webinar and create a guide out of it. Now, once you have the guide, the next thing you want to do is you want to create a landing page. And there's a lot of different ways we can create landing pages. Okay, we have a lot of different variants. So here's one look you can see here. And it starts with a headline: free 4-step guide reveals how to legitimately get business credit to grow your business even when you think you can't qualify, regardless of consumer credit issues, lack of collateral, or have been denied by banks. Now, all this stuff is tested. This is nothing like what it was when I used to write this actual headline and subheadline. So you've got to test to see what works a little bit better. Sometimes you want a beta test. You know, you want to do a split test, we call it. And if you use sources like Lead Pages, there's a bunch of places you can create your own lead pages, landing pages. Thrive, Thrive. I think Thrive is a place to create landing pages. You can create landing pages using software like ActiveCampaign. You can create landing pages using places like Lead Pages. We use Lead Pages for a long time. And any of those, you can actually create this kind of page fairly simple. It's copy and paste, meaning, you know, they give you the page and you just come and change the content, insert this image and insert these images, and it's pretty much drag and drop is what they call it. It's just drag and drop to create it. And then you kind of go with what you think might be your best headline. And if you don't know, then these services let you easily do what's called a split test. And you could basically run this, and then you could also run it without this free 4-step guide and just see which one gives you the higher opt-in percentage. And we say, okay, well, this free 4-step guide gives us a higher opt-in percentage, so we know that's going to stay. And then we're going to change some words here and see in a split test what gives us the next best result, et cetera, et cetera. And you constantly test and fine tune until you get something that works really well. And you never stop testing and fine tuning. It never stops. You have to constantly test. Every time I look at this landing page, it changes because our marketing team constantly is changing it to see what works better. When they get a version that performs better, they go with that version. Same with color of buttons, etc. What the button says. You have to kind of figure that out. Now, this is at creditsuite.com/EIN. Okay, I know I'm on some other crazy link. I don't even know what info.creditsuite.com is. But if you go to creditsuite.com/EIN, it forwards to this. Now we have a big guide. We have a headline. We have a subheadline. We have a big button here that somebody can click. And then We come here, we have this little disclaimer, requires no personal credit check, collateral, or cash flow. Okay, then we have some credibility things, a lot of things you could add for credibility. We have, as seen on, these are all the places we've been seen. Okay, you can also come in and you could do anything else. You could do a Trustpilot rating, which we sometimes have that as well. So you could put a Trustpilot here, anything that gives you some kind of credibility. There's a lot of things that give you credibility. We always like as seen on, as seen on, and I'll be straight with you. I mean, even before we were seen on these sources, actually Credit Suite itself, we still used as seen on and put these here. And we didn't do it to mislead people. We did it because these sources talk about business credit. So we're saying, hey, look, this is business credit information as seen in these kind of places. Okay, but again, that's a gray area, right? Well, you might not want to put as seen on in places that talk about business credit. You may only want to see as seen on in places that actually talk about places you've been seen. Okay, so eventually our marketing team removed all that and only put places that we've actually been seen on as a company, not where they've talked about business credit in general. But that's a way around that if you want to do what we always did in the past. And then, what are they getting out of this? I like bullets. We found bullets work really well. 4 bullets, 5 bullets. Okay, and coming in and creating some bullets of what they're going to get out of that. You want to have a guide here. You want to have some kind of visual image. This is not the image that we've had before. They test images. We see what works best. Then we got a little bit more credibility here. Then we've got another place down here. Hey, build business credit with confidence. 100% secure. We never share your email to give them some peace of mind. They're supposed to have privacy pages. If you want to advertise on places like Facebook, etc., you need to have a link to your privacy page there. And then they can come here and they can download the free guide. So what happens when they click there? Well, there's a couple different things. There's a lot of different ways you could do it. A lot of landing pages have the actual form right here on the landing page. So let me go back to this and show you an example of one that they had here, where if you go to the actual website, so here's one. So they have the actual, here's their headline and what you get, and then the form is on the page. You can see the form is on the web page. So this is the most common way of doing opt-in forms. You put it right there on the web page. Now, the science shows that the most effective forms are these, where you click the button and it pulls up the form. Okay, so I don't know, you've got to test, but the science and what we've tested supports the fact that our best pages are not these, where it has the form on the actual page. Our best pages come like this right here. They come in the format of clicking the button to open the form. Okay, so once you have that, we have this little bar here, and this comes from like Thrive or Lead Pages, whoever we build it through. It's not something we created. 50% complete. So it tells me that I'm already halfway through. I just got to fill this out to get to the other half. So it lets me know there's not a bunch of steps I need to take here. Download the free 4-step guide to getting business credit to grow your business. You're going to want to test that. But again, we have a good, effective headline here. Oh, and hold on one second here. I think I have a little bit. All right, sorry about that. Working from home today, and somebody just showed up the front door that I needed to attend to. So you can see here that you want to have an image of the guide. You want to have kind of a synopsis of what they're going to get. You want to, again, talk about not sharing their information to give them some peace of mind. And then you want to have your form fields. Now, here's what we've tested. We've tested to find that asking for a phone number, we get no significant reduction in actual phone number or in opt-in leads. You want to test this. Okay, the theory, the science shows that the fewer fields you put here, the more opt-ins you're going to get. Meaning if you just ask for an email, you're going to get more opt-ins from people that visit this than if you ask for name and email. And if you ask for name, email, and phone, you're going to get fewer opt-ins than if you just ask for email. That's what the science shows, okay? But I can tell you that we found minimal drop-off when asking for phone than not asking for phone. So now we ask for phone all the time. Okay, we ask for phone on every opt-in form because our funnel is to get people in our funnel, and then we solicit them for consultations. We can't call them and ask for a consultation unless they give us the phone number. So for us, we don't even want the lead if we don't have the phone number. It doesn't matter to us. not going to run a Facebook ad to get somebody here for them to just give us their name and email. It's not enough for us. For us, we need to have the phone number for it to work for our funnel, because our funnel, the minute they opt in, they start getting these kind of emails. And then about a week after they start getting these kind of emails, we then call them and ask them if they want to get into a consultation. And we get them into a consultation by asking for phone. So I can assure you that we actually come in and we ask for a phone number now on all of our opt-ins. And we do that because there was so minimal difference between not asking for them and asking for them that for us, it just didn't make any sense to do it any other way. Okay, so again, the science though will show that you really need to be careful here, because if you do ask for too much information, people might not want to give you the actual information that you're asking for. Now, if you enter that and you filled out our form, here's what's on the other side. So the minute you fill in that initial form, here's what we do. We say, thanks for registering for your free business credit guide. Your free guide has been emailed to you. You can download it by clicking here. We always do this. If somebody's gonna enter the information, they're gonna want to get the guide right here. I can tell you what annoys me. I get really annoyed when I give somebody my information and then they tell me to check my email for the guide. And I'll tell you. Hold on for 1 second. Okay, again, my apology for that. Okay, so again, what happens is I get really frustrated here when people come in and they actually ask for, my information in exchange for a guide. Then they tell me to check my email. They're moving me to a different format. I don't want to go check my email if I'm on your website. So I think you should give away whatever it is you're telling them right there on the exit page, as well as also emailing it to them, because now you have justification on why you asked for the email address. The other thing we like to do is one of the first emails we send is we say, hey, as promised, we promised you that we were going to send you this guide from our website, and we just sent it. So right away, they're coming here and then we're saying, hey, we emailed it to you. And the first email they get, it says, hey, as promised, we promised you we were going to send this to you, and we sent it to you. Why? Because you want to do business with people that actually deliver on what they say, right? That's what we talked about in the beginning. So if I'm coming in and right away say I'm going to do something, and then I do what I say I'm going to do, I'm building a lot of credibility right away. So I do that, and the first email is as promised, and we give that to them. They can download the free guide as well. Then we come with whatever upsell we have. Now, in our case here, we're testing credit monitoring. Hey, get free business credit monitoring to see both your Experian and Dun & Bradstreet report and scores on one platform. See what your credit issuers and lenders see, monitor your business credit, free 30-day trial. Here's a picture of that. Here's the benefits of why you do that. We do it with NAVS, so then we put NAVS co-branding there, and we come in and we basically have testimonials here and product features of what they get, and they can start their monitoring today. This could be anything. Sometimes our exit pages are consultations where we solicit for a consultation. Sometimes it's anything. But here's what I've learned. Take a shot at something cheap. Just take a shot. Anything you could offer them that you could sell them super cheap that has some kind of value. So this person came in, they're trying to build business credit. So to give them something that provides value, something like, here where they can actually come in and get, credit monitoring, which makes sense that somebody would want credit monitoring. Okay, or where'd I go here? That somebody can come in and they would make sense that they want where the heck did I go? Where did I go? Where am I at? Let me figure out. Download. Okay, so it makes sense that somebody that wants a business credit building guide might want business credit monitoring. So we're going to take a shot. We don't sell this for a lot. We sell it for 24 bucks. I think we profit $14 on it, and we give it away for free for the first month. So again, this is what we call a loss leader, because we are losing money on this. Every person that takes this offer, we lose money on, meaning that the minute they get free business credit trial, we lose $10 every single time. $10. Now, you want to know how much money we lose? I don't know. I don't want to know. It scares me. But I can tell you that we have 10,000 opt-ins per month. And I can tell you that at least a fraction of them come in and get that free trial. And if you think that it cost us $10 loss for every single one of those, and 2,000 of them are what actually take this offer, it kind of gives you an idea of how much money we lose in a month. It's a lot. But we lose it because we know that these people will stay in the second month, and the second month we get our money back. We're not even really making much profit in the second month. But if they stay with us for 3 months, then we make a little profit. So you got to have some real guts here. We're going to sit there and those numbers, we may lose $20,000 a month just because people are coming in and taking this free offer. And of that $20,000, we're going to get maybe $25,000 back the following month. Well, with the people that drop out, we probably get our $20,000 back for the people that continue, but we don't make a lot of profit into the third month. So again, we have a cost here. It's a loss leader. We lose money. But the reason that we do it is because enough people stay with this monitoring long enough for us to then recuperate like 40% of our ad spend. So that means of every $10,000 we spend in ads, about 4,000 of it we get back as a result of them taking this offer. That's not bad. I spend $10,000 to get ads and $4,000 I get from a simple offer like this. No big deal, right? So again, it becomes very important that you're actually making sure that you have something you can offer, preferably not like what we do, something that has a cost, preferably something you could give them that has absolutely no cost to you that you could charge a little bit of money for. So for example, I've seen Digital Marketer, who is a company that I follow a lot for this, do a $7 offer here. They do another checklist, another guide, another video, another course, another class, something like that for $7. So let me give you an example. Let's say we came in and we have a resource vault that gives away our 101. Well, let me actually go backwards. So let me say here that we have a free guide on 101 ways to improve your credit ebook. This is actually a really good example of how this could look for you. So we have this 101 ways to powerful tips for legally improving your credit score. Okay. So here it is. So we have a free guide that's a 56-page guide on 101 tips to legally improve your credit. You come in and you grab the guide. Then on the exit page here, for $7, you offer them a whole kit that has 101 dispute letter library, credit score secrets revealed guide, dispute log, 69-page guide on how to fix credit, cease and desist letter, everything else that's in this kit they can get for $7. You could do that all freaking day. And the brilliant part about that is that unlike our offer that cost money, this one, it just makes you money. Because again, if you're giving it, for $7, I mean, if they already gave you their information and it only cost them $7 to get this whole kit, a lot of people are going to take that. And if 20% of your people take that, well, then you're getting that much money back. Okay, so let me just go through and let's do some numbers here. Just to look, not to get too far off topic, but calculator. Okay, so let's see here. So if we come in and let's say we have 1,000 people. Okay, 1,000 people. And let's say that those ads that we're bringing people in are costing us $4 per ad to bring somebody in. That's pretty reasonable. So for 1,000 leads, we're at $4,000. Okay, now of that 1,000 leads, let's say that 20% of those people are actually going to take our offer, $200, and they take our offer for $7. You see what I'm saying? I mean, $1,400 divided into $4,000 is 35%. So in that example, we came in, we've got $4 on Facebook to get a lead into our funnel. They come in and they get our lead on 101 ways to improve your credit. They give us their email, and for them to opt in and give us their email and phone number, right? They go to our landing page here, they give us their email, their phone number, and their name. And then with that, we then spent $4,000 to get 1,000 leads. We spent $4 per lead, very reasonable for somebody. It might cost to get a lead from Facebook. It cost me $4,000 to get 1,000 leads. I know that might sound like a lot of money. I'm just using 1,000 leads as an example. Maybe you don't want 1,000 leads. So I have 1,000 leads. I got them in my funnel, and then I hit them up for this other offer after they got their guide to get this kit for $7. Really cool. Who wouldn't pay $7 for this if you want to fix your credit? And of that, 20% of the people that take my offer, and then I got back 35% of my ad spend. $1,400 of my $4,000 I made right away. I make that back. So now all of a sudden, you know what? It makes a lot more sense for me to run ads because I'm getting back so much of my ad spend right away. So that's a good example and exactly what you really want to do here on your exit pages. Have some kind of offer that actually gets them to buy something. And digital marketing calls this a tripwire offer. So you want to basically give a tripwire offer. And then, of course, the very first thing they do is they get that guide that says, hey, you know what? We, here's the as promised. I told you I was going to email this to you. I sent it. And then we trigger that funnel, right? Then we start triggering these kind of emails where we're providing all this value in the funnel in the indoctrination sequence. And then in the indoctrination sequence, remember, if you go back the last couple of weeks when I went through this email funnel and I explained this to you, we have offers like this. We're giving them value here, how to find out if they're set up with Equifax. And down here and up here, we're promoting a webinar. So we're getting them in to learn more about our product and service in this first week. And then after a week, our setters then start to call them. Our setters can start to call them because they gave us their phone number here. So now our setters can come in and our setters can actually start to call them. And then we get them into a consultation with our sales team. And then I won't tell you what happens from there because you already know. We follow a path to provide value and present to them. And if you go back through our past webinars, I've shown you exactly what our new sales process is. I've given you our script. I've given you our actual documents that our sales team uses to do that. That's how our sales process works. That's it. We start by coming in and choosing any number of these lead magnets. And I showed you last week how to easily create lead magnets as you're creating other content. In order to get the lead magnet, you come to a site like this, a landing page. I've now told you how to create the landing pages, places like Lead Pages or leadpages.net or Thrive. I've given you a rundown of them if you want to see other kind of landing pages here. Here's another kind of landing page where it's a video landing page. Okay, so here's a quiz or a quiz type of not a quiz, but here's a survey kind of funnel. So here it is. Here's the training. You can come through, one question survey. How much about business credit do you understand? Come here, submit answer. They give us the information. That's another type of funnel that we could test here. I'll show you. I'll show a bunch of them to you. So here's another one here that let me see what this is. Okay, here's the one I just showed you. Okay, so here's some other kind of landing pages, so you can see other kind of landing pages that we do. Here's another one, headline, subheadline, credibility, bullets that we talked about, testimonials down here to give us some more credibility. Okay, but basically the same format we've talked about before. Here's that credibility. Here again is the headline. Here's the subheadline. Here's those bullets again. Here's the picture of the guide. Here's that button. Here's actual more credibility. Where's the credibility here? So we're testing credibility a different way here. So you can see that as well. You can also come in here and here's another kind of guide, very super simple. Okay, where we're just got credibility and the headline with no bullets and a button that people can actually choose. So you can see we choose a lot of different kind of landing pages. Here's somebody here where we've got an actual video that they've got. They can come here to grab their credibility bundle. Okay, so did you know that credit issuers and lenders have a secret formula for approval? Get access to your credibility checklist to get approved for business credit financing. We use this video here, then we come down and provide all the benefits that they get in the funnel. This is a $7 offer. So we don't do this anymore, but here's a $7 exit offer where we provide all this value for $7. So that's an example of how we did what I just explained to you earlier that you could do with that credit repair kit as an example. Okay, here's another one. It's pretty simple. It's a video that which uses bullets to come in and creativity, or a little bit of creativity there. So you can see there's all different kinds of these that we can use. Here's that widget from Trustpilot that we use down here. That's a different way of showing credibility. So we've looked at now, 10 different kinds of real landing pages that we have. Here's one, free online class. Remember, we talked about that as well. The actual classes. Here's a countdown to a free online class. Here's the the credibility points of the webinar. They can register. Here's the guest information. So there's another kind of landing page guide that we have right there. These are all used the same thing using lead pages, which you can create on your own. That's another example of that same thing, what's called a funnel or a webinar funnel, and that's the beginning of our webinar funnel. Here's another checklist that we can do with the guide and the bullets and the credibility points. Okay, so there's a bunch of different versions that I've shown you here, but for the most part, I think you get it. And I'm actually late to my next appointment, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So hopefully you have a good idea of everything we've talked about here today. Okay, the key to success is to be able to create the landing page, to create the guide, create any number of different landing pages. The one I showed you is the most important one in the very beginning. Okay, create the guide, create the landing page, as promised, email that gets delivered, and then get them into your funnel. So I'm going to wrap this up because I just realized I'm a couple minutes behind for my next meeting, but hopefully you got a lot of good information out of this. You know exactly how to get people into your funnel. We talked about 69 different kinds of lead magnets you could use. We talked about how to create the landing pages, what to put on the landing pages. You can use creditsuite.com/EIN. That's our best performing one as an example. We talked about sending the as promised email. We talked about what you could put on the form. The only other thing I'll tell you is if you have like a drop down selection somebody can fill in, theoretically statistics show that does not decrease opt-ins. But I stick with name, email, and phone. We talked about the first email that you send after, and we talked about how to get them in the funnel. So we covered a lot of stuff today. I'm going to wrap up. If you have any questions that we can also help you with along the way, feel free to reach out to us, support@creditsuite.com, and we will help you with any of this and anything else related to getting customers for your business credit financing business. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.